Welcome to the deep dive. We've got quite the material today. It looks like two stories woven together exploring, that edge between just desperate life and some really high-stakes elemental magic.
That's right. And our deep dive today, it's into this world where, well, sheer poverty pushes a young woman, Miryem, into becoming this pretty cold moneylender.
And that sets her against a king literally made of ice.
Exactly. While at the same time, you've got this princess using like pure calculation strategy to fight off a demon made of fire. So yeah, our mission is really to unpack all these complex links between debt, elemental power, and just basic survival.
Okay, let's start with that idea of coldness. Miryem is central here. The source material, it draws this really beautiful but painful contrast right away. Her father, he was gentle, warm even.
Often the one going hungry, as the text says.
Right, but that warmth, it kind of created this financial coldness, a vacuum really, no stability.
And that vacuum, it demanded someone step up. And Miryem does. She's maybe one of the most reluctant heroes we've looked at. She goes through this pretty stark transformation.
Learns quickly, it seems.
Oh, yeah. She figures out, quoting here, "You have to be cruel to be a good moneylender." Her whole focus becomes getting back her mother's dowry, plus all the interest her father just let evaporate.
And she knows the easy money's gone. What's left needs this ruthless edge. And we should probably understand the mechanics here, right? The money itself.
Absolutely. It's not just vague wealth. The source is specific. You've got 100 pennies making 1 kopeck.
Okay.
And then 20 silver kopecks add up to 1 golden zlot tax.
So a clear system.
A very clear system. And that structure is key because it's like the first layer of cold magic in the story, you could say. It's that unbending math Miryem has to use.
The numbers don't lie, even if the actions feel cruel.
Precisely. And that detachment, that's maybe what she needed just to get by, to survive.
And when you see who gets tangled in that system, well, the stakes become really clear, don't they? Like Wanda's family.
Oh, Wanda's story's heartbreaking. Her father gambled away the money they needed for medicine. Just a few kopecks.
And her mother
died from a fever, yeah. And that debt, it was 6 silver kopecks. That's what pulls Wanda into working for Miryem.
It's that awful cycle, isn't it? Having nothing. Not even like a spare loaf of bread to offer as payment.
Exactly. So she owes 4 years of work initially. Then it gets reduced to 3 when her younger brother, Sergey, starts working too.
And they try to save, right, hiding pennies.
Yeah, literal pennies. They hide them under their mother's gravestone near this specific white tree, which, as we'll see, connects to the Staryk.
That image, hiding hope under a gravestone. But the desperation around them, it just gets worse. Wanda's father, Gorek, he doesn't just owe money. He kind of collapses morally.
Completely. He actually sells Wanda, sells his daughter to a farmer, Gajus.
Sells her? For what?
For 1 jug of Krupnik a week.
Oh, that's brutal. A life for weekly liquor.
It just shows how debt and poverty can completely wreck a person's, moral compass, a whole community's maybe.
Yeah, and it really sets the stage for the next kind of coldness, because the struggle over pennies and kopecks is about to slam right into actual elemental magic.
Right. This is where Miryem's cold math meets the actual ice magic of the Staryk king.
So the Staryk, tell us about them.
They're these elemental beings tied to endless winter, and those strange white trees you can't cut down. Their king. He makes quite an entrance. Tall, beardless, face like ice and glass inhuman, riding a stag with these huge 12-branched antlers. He's basically winter personified, unfeeling, unstoppable cold.
And he wants Miryem, not for her personality, I'm guessing.
No, not at all. He wants her because he's figured out she can do something unique. She can turn silver coins into gold just by touching them.
Whoa.
He literally says he wants a queen who really could make gold out of silver. It connects her skill with money directly to his magical need.
Her debt collecting focused on silver, right, kopecks.
Exactly. And now he needs that silver turned to gold. He starts small, 6 silver coins, but then it jumps to 60.
And the threat is it could become 600 gold pieces.
Yes, this escalating demand, it's like the story is saying that this kind of power, this magic like debt, it just doesn't stay contained, it grows.
But why does he need the gold? Is it just greed?
That's the crucial insight, isn't it? It's not just about wealth. The really chilling part is realizing he's the one causing the endless winter in the human world.
He's making it happen. Why?
Not out of spite for humans, apparently. It's self-preservation. He's using the cold, the snow, to basically reinforce his own kingdom, his mountain fortress, to keep it from bleeding, as the source puts it.
So the starving and freezing of people in Lithvis, That's just collateral damage, a side effect of him saving his own realm.
Pretty much. His own overwhelming necessity as he sees it, which is a devastating kind of coldness.
Okay, so we have Miryem's calculated financial coldness, the Staryk King's elemental self-preservation. Where does our third main character fit? Let's shift gears to Irina. She seems to represent, what, cold political strategy.
That's a good way to put it. Irina's the Duke's daughter, and she's pushed into this strategic marriage with Tsar Mernatius. She's described as very sharp, having her hawk father's eyes.
Not dealing in pennies, but in influence.
Yeah.
Power.
Right. But her situation gets complicated immediately because the Tsar, well, he's possessed.
Possessed by what?
By Chernobog, a fire demon. And the details the source gives are just unsettling. It's not just big, obvious evil. It's things like the Tsar taking this weird pleasure in shooting squirrels and then dissecting them. And the demon itself, it starts subtly. A voice whispering from the fireplace, demanding power, demanding sustenance.
That squirrel detail is interesting. It's such a petty kind of cruelty compared to the Staryk King freezing a whole kingdom.
It is. It shows the nature of the demon may be more capricious, consuming. Irina's trapped between that fire and the constant maneuvering of the court.
But she finds a way out. Or a tool.
She does. Unexpectedly, she has this silver ring inherited from her mother, magic her father didn't even know about.
Silver again?
Silver again. And she uses this ring to step through a mirror, escaping the palace into the Staryk kingdom. Just for a bit, for refuge.
But refuge isn't a solution.
No, running isn't her style. She comes back with a plan, and it's breathtakingly cold and logical.
What is it?
She decides she's going to capture the Staryk king and trade him to Chernobog.
Trade the Ice King to the Fire Demon. Wow.
Yeah. It's this calculated move to get rid of both threats at once. The demon controlling the Tsar and the Staryk controlling the weather.
That raises a question maybe for you listening too. Is what Irina does trading one powerful being for another morally different from Miryem collecting interest? Miryem took money. Irina's trading a king.
It's complex. The source suggests Irina sees it as the only way to bring stability. She knows she has to use her position. She starts promoting herself, making sure the Tsar needs her strategic thinking.
How did she do that?
She uses a silver crown made from Staryk silver, by the way, to impress the court. She even makes Mernatius pretend to be an affectionate husband in public, even though he clearly hates it and the demon is still there.
So mastering the appearance of warmth for cold strategic goals.
Exactly. And that maneuvering leads us right into the climax and the surprising return of spring.
Right, the capture. How does that happen?
Miryem is back home in Viznia at her grandfather's house. She, her family, Wanda, and Sergei, they're all involved in capturing the king. They use a silver chain and candles.
Silver, his weakness. And candles, fire, light.
Seems like it. The candles actually burn him, bind him. It shows even that immense cold can be contained, maybe.
And then the other elemental force shows up.
Right on cue. Tsar Mernatius, still possessed by Chernobog, crashes the wedding that's happening, and he just laughs at the bound Staryk king, a laugh described as sounding like a fire makes. Pure consumption.
Which forces Miryem's hand, doesn't it? She has to make a choice.
A huge choice. A reversal of her earlier calculations, almost. She decides to give the Staryk king to Chernobog. To save her kingdom, everyone, from the endless winter.
Sacrificing the king to stop the winter.
Yes. And she feels it's a decision that will leave her cold inside. She's trading her own potential future, maybe her warmth, for the survival of the land. It's a kind of self-sacrifice.
And Chernobog is happy with this deal, I imagine.
Delighted. He intends to just devour the king. He says something like, "I'll suck you until you are so small I can crunch you with my teeth."
Grim. But Miryem has something else up her sleeve.
One last move, a desperate one, using something that actually came from the Staryk kingdom.
What is it?
A pale white nut from one of those white trees. It was sent through the mirror earlier.
Okay, a nut. What does she do with it?
This is where faith and magic really come together. Stepan, Wanda's brother, plants the nut, and Miryem's father, remember him, the symbol of simple warmth. He leads them in a specific Jewish blessing.
Which one?
The blessing for fruit trees in bloom. Baruch Adonai.
Why that particular blessing? That seems significant.
Hugely significant. It's about renewal, about life returning after winter, the earth bearing fruit again. It's the perfect spiritual counterpoint to both the Staryk's frozen stasis and the demon's destructive fire. It's pure life force.
Insights. Does it work?
Instantly, miraculously, the seedling just explodes into a silver tree covered in gold flowers. The Staryk king is freed.
And Chernobog The fire demon.
Gone, reduced to ash and coals, overwhelmed by that surge of life, it seems. The endless winter breaks immediately. Spring just rushes back into Lithvas. Fields turn green, green, green.
Wow. So the resolution, how does it land for everyone, based on the kind of coldness they used?
Pretty clearly, Irina, the cold strategist, she solidifies her power, forces the Tsar, who is now free of the demon but definitely traumatized, to stabilize the court. Her calculation bought political influence and peace.
Okay. And Miryem, who made that final sacrifice?
She's reunited with her family. They're prosperous now, surrounded by blooming trees. It suggests she found a way for warmth and financial security to actually coexist, perhaps because her final act wasn't just calculation, but also sacrifice for life.
And Wanda and Sergei.
They go back to their village. Their goal isn't magic or riches. It's just building a life through their own work, free from debt, free from people like their father or Keijus, and crucially, they still have that white nut.
They didn't plant it.
No, they're saving it. They vow to plant it only when they find a truly safe place. A home where, as Stepan says, me and Sergei and Wanda can all live together and be safe. Their ending is about earned security, self-sufficiency.
What a journey through different kinds of survival. It really shows how coldness, whether it's numbers or ice magic or political games, was tangled up with human warmth, with connection. Survival really seemed to depend on which magic you leaned into and maybe why you used it.
Yeah, whether it was purely for yourself or for something bigger. But even with all the magic, that underlying arithmetic of need, of consequence, it seemed to drive every single choice.
Which brings us to our final thought, something for you to chew on. We talked about the Staryk king causing that terrible winter just to shore up his own kingdom, to keep it from bleeding. It suggests that maybe sometimes the biggest acts of destruction, they aren't driven by actual malice towards others.
Right, but by what the person sees as overwhelming need.
Or self-preservation.
Exactly. So the question to leave you with is this. When you look around at difficult situations or people making hard choices, how often might we mistake desperation for actual cruelty?